All right, I want to have you guys take a step back from this league. I know it's filled with a bunch of brainless left as hell. You can argue the person that we're going to be talking about is one in some aspects. However, this effort is going to make things interesting because of exactly that. You get what has been deemed as the safe haven of the authoritarian left. There is only one acceptable position, especially considering that their star, who people deem as like the face of the league, is a fucking brain dead leftist who has no idea what he's talking about, by the name of LeBron James. But I think even he's like kind of on some questionable shit with it when it comes to this vaccine. But there's a report that came out not too long ago regarding the National Basketball Association regarding Kyrie Irving, who I believe that is the GOAT in terms of handles. I've never seen anybody fucking be able to handle the rock like that. And that's, you can name them all. I say this as a guy, obviously, with Penny being my favorite guy growing up in AI. Tim Hardaway. I know for nostalgia purposes, people will throw them out there. The Isaiah Thomases. None of them motherfuckers can handle that bitch like Kyrie. But that's a conversation that is maybe for a young group of 5'9" entertainment. We'll debate that. That's not what the subject matter is. But Kyrie may be entering, or rather, he has people that he is kind of having associate with him. Because, you know, Kyrie, for those of you that don't know, is kind of skeptical on this vaccine shit. So that creates an issue for the NBA. So I'm going to read this. This came out yesterday on from Outkick. Big shout out to them. Now let's read what it says. The NBA has been zeroing in on the remaining 10% of active players that are unvaccinated and are running out of patience with convincing skeptics. Despite Commissioner Adam Silver's declaration that the association will not implement a vaccine mandate heading into the 2021-22 season, which is great, have it so where the players get to decide. It's funny, everybody gives a fuck about player mobility and players' rights and all of that when it comes to I guess everything else, you know, where owners are always the problem, players are never the problem. Vaccines, though. Oh, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Says the higher-ups are beginning to worry that the remaining number of players are basing their decision on conspiracy theories, per a new Rolling Stones report. Right. Nobody can make an educated position. From my knowledge, we have 0 NBA players that have died from fucking COVID. It's almost as if people that are in the prime of their goddamn lives, that are healthy and athletic, don't generally die from the COVID. One of the association's prominent figures for personal choice includes Brooklyn Nets all-star Kyrie Irving, a player being labeled by the Rolling Stones report as a conspiracy theorist for choosing to question the efficacy of the vaccine and following anti-vaxxers' social media accounts. You got to remember, an anti-vaxxer isn't people that are literally anti-vaccination. Most people that they call anti-vaxxers have had some vaccinations at some point. It's just that anybody that ain't falling over themselves to get a goddamn donut as a reward for getting the fucking jab is an anti-vaccine motherfucker. Anybody that ain't in support of government-induced vaccine mandates is an anti-vax. That term means goddamn nothing anymore. It's like racist, homophobe, all transphobe, all those useless terms that people use basically for anybody that doesn't agree with them, ain't bojangling and jiggling and gyrating with them at some fucking parade or some shit. Anybody that ain't doing that is anti them. That's how they feel. It's much like that with the vaccine. NBA worries that Kyrie and other players such as Orlando's Jonathan Isaac will opt out of games where the vaccine is required, including New Orleans, Los Angeles, and New York City. So for those that don't know, this isn't necessarily coming by way of the NBA. This is coming by way of the state. And because, you know, a lot of these damn arenas and shit are state funded in some way, I believe that at some point the NBA will step in, and that's when it's going to get interesting, because Kyrie is the type of motherfucker that'll be like, I just ain't going to fucking play I just won't play. I won't play in goddamn New York if that's the case. I won't play in LA. I won't play in New York City if that's the rules that they have, at least for their players, that I have to have a jab in order to shoot a goddamn basketball. Like, I just won't get the guy. I just won't play. You won't see it happen. You know? Motherfucker say, I ain't even going to play home games, basically, since he's based out of Brooklyn. Or since the team is. Whoo! Well, it's going to get spicy if it get to that. It's going to be interesting. We got to see how that's going to develop. There are so many other players outside of him who are opting out. I would like to think they would make a way, commented Kyrie Irving's aunt, noted in the report as having knowledge of talks among players behind the scenes. It could be like every third game, so it still gives you a full season of being interactive and being on the court, but with limitations that they're, of course, oppressing upon you. There can be some sort of formula where the NBA and players can come to some sort of agreement. Like, yeah, it's just called, okay, you don't want to get the jab, play ball. All you other vaccinated motherfucking ball players, hopefully you don't get no myocarditis or anything like that. But all you other vaccinated ball players, you got your vaccine. You should be protected. Now, if you're not, then go ahead and say that. Or if you don't think that, y'all, because remember, somehow, I guess the jab, it's supposed to protect you, but it don't at the same time, because it has, in order for it to work, everybody has to get it because of reasons. It's an easy agreement. It's easy. Okay. I don't want to get it. I'm not playing. Now, I want to play, but you're not going to force me or coerce me into getting this jab in order to play. It's simple. It ain't that. So to NBA, the most pro player league in the damn world. Players always win. They come out on top. All the contracts are guaranteed. Shit. It's a simple thing. But this is something different. Politics are involved. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes on. Isaac and Irving have been confident in their assessment of the risk of COVID. Isaac cited religious standing related to his Christian faith and his decision-making process. That shouldn't even matter. He shouldn't even have to even cite that. Though that, I'm not saying doubting it's his reason. I know that Jonathan Isaac, we've talked about him before, he is a man of faith. And I have no issues with that at all. What I am saying, however, is that he shouldn't have to give you a reason. Nobody should. Like, this whole weird obsession with over everybody's medical information is bizarre. Yeah, that used to not be normal. It used to be like a taboo thing to be asking motherfuckers about that type of stuff. Now, all of a sudden, everybody wants you to prove all what you got. Like, why y'all in my business in the first place, man? You know? At the end of the day, it's people, and you can always put your trust completely in people. When asked about his decision to forego the COVID vaccine, I would have just did if I was in that position, which I'm not, I would have gave him the DX suck it sign. That's what that would have. As soon as the reporter asked me, so why aren't you getting the vaccine? I would have hit him with one of them, and I would have then said if anybody else, or asked if anybody else had questions. We're talking about people, just for context here, that are in the prime of their life right now. Yes, the off season, but you get what it is I'm saying. They're in their life, in comparison, they're not going to be in better shape than what they are preparing to play for a professional sport. You know, we're talking about a population. I don't know what the average age of the league is, but it has to be somewhere in the 20s, right? You're talking about a population that is not very vulnerable, not just considering their age, but their health demographic, like just overall health. And they are insisting that these people, this is why it's weird. People talking about college age students and college athletes. I'm like, or in this case, well, not in this case, but in other cases, talking about people wanting to get Pfizer. Oh, well, our vaccine is safe for ages 5 through 11. Why are y'all trying to vaccinate 5-year-olds for COVID? This is some shit that they are not, if they get it, they're more than likely not going to need to go to the hospital. I'm not going to die from it. What are you doing? So Yeah, Kyrie says some weird things. But I do hope that he stands his ground because I want to see how it plays out. I want to see who wins. Kyrie Irving, and this is what it's going to take, right? Unfortunately, despite the people thinking it's player-friendly, it's not really as much player-friendly as it is star-friendly. So if it was a bunch of role players that sat out, they wouldn't give a fuck. But Kyrie Irving is like, not only is he an all-star, he's a guy that people, because he's so fun to watch, he's a guy that people would go to a Nets game to see. Yeah, they got two other damn stars over there, Hall of Famers, but future Hall of Famers, that is. But still, it would be a very big deal if that man said, you know what, I'm not going to any of these home games because, well, y'all require me to get a jab, but I don't want it. Kyrie would be the mother. Like, he's just enough out there to where I would believe that he would be like that. He'd say, fuck it. I'm just not going to play. Some people are obsessed with the game enough that we're like, oh, fuck it. Jab me every week if you need to. But I want to see how it plays out. Kyrie is, I feel like if there's one person in the league that will play fucking chicken and like not move, it's Kyrie. It's Kyrie. Probably if Rodman was still in the league, he'd be one of them that'd be like, nah. If that was his position, I'm not saying that Rodman hasn't gotten it, but if Rodman said he wasn't going to do it, I believe fucking he wasn't going to do it. Shout out, South Oak Cliff, Texas, by the way. Let's see how it develops, and I'll update you. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Cannon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcannonsake.com.